This is a silver chart that's on a daily basis, and pretty much, we had some movement in the price, but it moved back up again. It looked like it was going down, and then it actually formed a hammer here, and you have a slight downward trend. Sometimes that means it's going to go up, but I don't think you can really tell what's going to go on the price of silver on a daily basis. I'm holding on to my position, double leverage short on this. I think it's going to keep going down, and I don't see 30 as too difficult to imagine, but when you're looking on this weekly chart on a long range, and it does appear that it possibly could go down to 24, 25. Some people are saying that. I find it hard to imagine, but I am too bullish on this metal, so it's kind of difficult for me to hold a short position on this, but I think I'm going the right way with this. Some news can come out. Also, we're going to have news coming out on April 2nd on Monday, which is going to be the primary manufacturing index on the global level. We'll be able to look that up, and a lot of preliminary data states like China slow down. Also, France and Germany have lower manufacturing output, so those numbers are going to look probably bad, which will probably affect the metals that day on Monday. But it depends. There's a lot of different things that can affect the markets. I also want to point out in this time, I never expected silver to take a dive like this. When we all saw it got smashed down from the margin rate increases back here in 2011, starts going up and up and up and up, and then it takes another slam down like this. I didn't expect this either. So, and also, by the end of the year, I expected it up to be around 40, 42, at least in the upper 30s, and it was down to like 26 something again on December 28th, 2011. So, I'm too bullish on this metal. I find it hard to believe that it can go down to 24, 25. It might. So, I'm holding on a double leverage position on the short side. Seems very counterintuitive to me, but I'm holding this position. As far as oil had a big slam down today, and Goldman Sachs was remarking there was like, oh gee, I don't know why that happened. I don't know. Goldman Sachs got a pretty bad reputation now. They probably always had one somewhat, but I guess more so with a couple things that came out everybody knows about, like even during the BP oil spill. The financial bets look great. But as far as this still being bullish, it should be at this level. I mean, it appears below here, but it's still over 103. And the bull flag is still in place. Even if it goes down to 100, it's still bullish. And in my opinion, I don't know. I mean, I would almost think that if they can rig the market and drive it down to 100 to stop people out, say they got some kind of way to do that, to move the markets on a temporary basis, it's not that crazy. But I don't have any proof on this. I just think that, like a lot of people got suspicions, right? I would still hold a position because in double leverage, like I said, it doesn't erode that fast. As long as this thing goes up to like 120 or something like that, which I think it is going to at one point in time, I'm going to make out. Even with the double leverage, you're not going to get like a double percentage for the whole time period I had it, but maybe a 1.5 times the percentage it moved, something like that, because it erodes somewhat. But triple leverage, I think that's more like 1 or 2 day fund, unless you are totally clairvoyant and you know that the price of a commodity is going to go up like 20-30% in a month, then you want to hold triple leverage. But that's a pretty dangerous fund to hold, in my opinion. But double leverage, considering what's going on today with Iran, I think it's not a bad thing to hold. Now, I picked out a couple things that this could be very bullish for oil. And this was like the new stuff that came out today, recently. And, Goldman was like surprised why the markets in oil went down, took such a hit. I don't know. That's what they said, I'm like, yeah, right, Goldman. Anyway, but Iran's exports fell by 300,000 barrels a day from the daily levels they were at in February 2012 to March 2012. They dropped by 300,000 barrels a day to 1.9 million barrels daily, 10% drop, according to Swiss oil shipping specialist Petrologistics. And, this is like kind of like a joke. Goldman says oil's due to fall like twice a day, every day, right? And usually they're very bullish on oil, but they've been saying, and then they acted like they were surprised it fell today so much. I don't know what to think of these guys, but the public has lost a lot of trust in them, and it's finding a little interesting tidbit that more than 20 commodity traders, including several senior traders, have left Goldman Sachs in the last several months. So, I guess they got some problems going on there. People don't want to be in the firm anymore, huh? Who knows? And, I guess maybe that has something to do with the derivatives bubble. That's some things people are talking about. Now, looks like oil popped up a little bit, 103.31. I'll refresh this. 103.30. And, the metals are staying pretty flat. I think the trend is still bearish on the metals, and I'm bullish on the metals. It's very difficult for me to short metals. It seems counterintuitive to me, but I got to go by what I think the direction is going to go. I'm not holding like a huge position on it or anything like that. I'm just using double leverage. But I think it'll be revealed if this is going to come about because, looking at the charts and stuff like that, this is a silver chart. I would assume it's going to be down here mid-April, or end of April or beginning of April, that it's going to be down to the lowest point. And, tell you the truth, if it's down to like a little bit below 30 on mid-April, I think I'm getting out of that short position and staying in cash because I feel squeamish about it too. Tell you the truth, I don't like it. But I got right now. I got to stick with it. I got to stick with it because I think there's some other things coming up here pretty soon that's going to change these metals markets and bring them down. Now, as far as this rumor about Brzezinski. God, I put this on here, and I did remark that I didn't know if it was legit, but I was very, very keenly interested in this because Brzezinski would stand in the way of Israel attacking Iran because he's very much against that. He stated so publicly many times. And, I was stating that. I don't know about this site, but I guess apparently anybody can post anything they want on this thing. And, this is a guy who said he was from Israel. And he says Brzezinski died in the hospital in Israel. I guess it will soon be on the news. He was a great person and a truther, right? And then down here, you got this other person from Israel stating, not refuting it or anything. And he says the guy was so anti-Israel, doesn't spell Israel right, and there he died. Question markification must have been cut short. But you know what? You look on this site a couple days before that. A couple days before that, and I see Lunatic Fringe. I'm not familiar with this site. UFOs, conspiracy theory. I guess this is one of those places, huh? But anyway, rest in peace, Henry Kissinger. And it's kind of crazy that they could post stuff like this and just throw stuff like that out. But then I did an internet search, and I found out, there was stuff about Henry Kissinger died in 2011, Henry Kissinger died in 2010, and David Icke's site, and whatever the heck it was, and I guess people can write whatever the hell they want, right? So anyway, the only reason I was really, really, really curious about this was because he would have influenced policy big time with Iran. He's a major force in the Obama administration too, even now. And that could have indicated that a policy change was coming up with Iran, and that would tell me this oil is flying up pretty soon. But in any case, I don't want to go guessing the market too much. I think it's good to hold a position on double leverage. I can wait it out pretty good with double leverage, and I think eventually I will get a good gain on this. Brzezinski being alive or whatever he is, I'm assuming he is alive. I mean, beware of that. I guess they could post anything they want on that thing. I guess that's the way that goes. But that got me very curious, so I had to kind of correct that and state Brzezinski must be alive because I wasted some hours looking for that information. And anyway. But I did state when I originally did that video that when I questioned it, I was kind of mocking the fact that I don't trust this information, but I was highly, highly curious about it because he does have a great influence in the Obama administration, and he could influence the policy with Iran a lot, and that is why it really piqued my interest.